perfect place to play college football, Coach.
Yes, if they don't get a lot of snow, the only problem they've had with the Metrodome is one time they got a lot of snow and it started to cave in, but I don't think that there will be a problem like that this evening.
Cerritos Junior College in California.
And they're rushing. He left 10 men. They rushed 10 men that time, but he got the kickoff. There shouldn't be much of a return.
That is Reed on the return for Minnesota. He's driven out of bounds by number 71, Dean Steinkuhler. And the Minnesota Golden Gophers will take over.
It appears that Minnesota is gambling. They played real tough up close to the line on defense, and they sent 10 men after the punter.
Here's the Minnesota backfield. Murphy, the quarterback. Reed is the I-back. The fullback is David Puck. The flanker, Dwayne McMullen, tight end Jay Carroll, and the split end, number 49, Lungan Howard. That was a 39-yard punt and only a 6-yard return. That is Reed in motion. Murphy throwing on first down. Has Reed on the right side, and he's tackled down at the 50. Number 33, Dave Burke on the tackle.
It's a swing pass, a little swing back pass to the tailback coming out of here, but the officials were a lot closer, so there's no gain. It's 2nd and 10.
You see the Minnesota line, Rasmussen, the big star of their line. He is the senior captain. His father also played here at Minnesota.
He was a great football player, too.
2nd down and 10 at the 44. Reed in motion again. Murphy looking to pass on 2nd down. Airs the ball out. He way overthrows number 49, Lungan Howard.
He had Howard open, and if the pass had been completed, it might have been a touchdown because he was behind the defender.
I tell you, Howard ran a great pattern on that one. Beat Mike McCashlin pretty bad, but Murphy just couldn't get the ball to him. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 now for the Gophers. Here's the Nebraska defensive line. Bill Weber at left end with Mike Keeler, Mike Tranmer, and Rob Stuckey in the middle. Scott Strasburger is the defensive end on the near side. The linebackers and backs, Dom, Knox, Harris, McCashlin, Clark, and Burke. 3rd down and long for the Gophers. Obvious passing situation. Murphy, a deep drop looking over the middle. Gets it away and throws it away.
It was good coverage that time. Nebraska was playing the pass. They dropped off 8 men, and they covered the pass very well. The pass was overthrown, but the receiver was well covered.
Intended receiver on that one, tight end Jay Carroll. So Minnesota will be forced to punt the ball away. 4th down and 10. They get nowhere on their first drive. Coach, Nebraska's defense has to be proud of this.
Yes, and now you're going to see something that Clete Fisher has been watching for a long while. You're going to see a punt return, and they think that either of these two fellows, Burke or Smith or Fryer, could go. But this is a great kick. It's way up in the air.
It goes to Jeff Smith. He gets 5, maybe 6 yards on the return.
That punter did a great job. He hung the ball up there a long while. He gave Minnesota a chance to cover the punt. It's going to be hard to get a good punt return if he keeps the ball up there in the air. That's at the ball here. And it's a short enough kick that they might run it out. No, he's going to drop. He dropped the ball in the end zone.
Plays in. Murphy, still the quarterback. Man in motion, 83. That's the tight end, Carroll. Murphy throwing on first down. He's under pressure. Strasburger nails him.
The problem with throwing the football like this is that the ball, if they don't make first downs, the ball goes over to Nebraska a lot quicker. And
let's check the replay on that, Coach. Watch Murphy roll out. Strasburger comes in off the right side and just flat out runs him down.
Right. Murphy is not a real good running quarterback here. He doesn't have great speed. Strasburger does a fine job. He's a fine defensive end.
That'll bring up a 2nd down and 15 now for the Gophers. They are deep in their own territory at the 15-yard line. Nebraska leads at 6-0. In motion is Reed. Murphy throwing on 2nd down. Has Reed in the flat. Out to the 18 and dragged down by Dave Burke.
And that is now 6 passes in a row they've thrown, or 5 passes in a row they've thrown.
Boy, you talk about tendencies. Minnesota all the way with the pass tonight. You wonder when they'll try to run the ball.
I think they're going to try to throw it, and of course they've got 3rd and long yardage again here.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. They're back at the original line of scrimmage. Split wide at the bottom of the screen is Dwayne McMullen. Murphy, the quarterback. Single setback is Puck, the fullback.
They're running what we would call almost a spread formation. Here's a draw play.
That's Puck out to the 26, and he's tripped up there by Knox. Is inflicted with Hodgkin's disease, but he still wants to play football, and he's put in a gallant effort for the Gophers this year.
Right. He's the son of John Blanchard, former Yankee baseball player.
Gets off a good kick. Fryer with the return at the 30-yard line. breaks away from a tackler and maybe out to the 40. The roster.
Now they're out on the 20.
Murphy brings them up first down and 10. Single setback. Tight end in motion. Murphy looking on the right side, has it complete to the tight end, Jay Carroll, and out of bounds, and a bit of confusion on the play. Murphy looking over the Nebraska defense. Hunter in motion. Murphy rolling out to the right. Under pressure by Herman. He gets the ball away, and it's incomplete. Yeah, it's also a first down and 10 for the Gophers at their own 30. Carroll in motion. Murphy passing again. Looking down the middle. It's almost intercepted.
Minnesota's throwing that ball almost every down, and as Darrell Roy used to say, there's a lot of bad things can happen when you throw the football.
Second down and 10 for the Gophers. You wonder if they'll throw it again. Murphy calls it out. He's throwing on second and 10. Across the middle has a man, McMullen, and can't get it to him.
Situation now, and it looks like they're going to win or lose with the pass.
Boy, it really looks that way. Murphy is 3 of 7 now for only 17 yards. And the Gophers have a third down and 10 at their own 30.
They're in a spread formation again. They got 4 receivers.
That's Hunter in motion. Murphy wants to pass again. He's under a lot of pressure, gets it away, and it's incomplete.
And again, the receiver was pretty well covered. He had a guy in front of him. He had a guy behind him.
Lungin Howard, the intended receiver on that one. It'll bring up a fourth down and 10, and Blanchard will have to punt it away again. You know, we talked about Paul Blanchard being afflicted with Hodgkin's disease. They say he is probably the most inspirational player on this Minnesota team, and ironically, he started college at Creighton University, wanted to play baseball for the Blue Jays, but decided to come here to Minnesota and kick the ball for the Gophers, and Blanchard has done a whale of a job these past 2 years.
Right, and he's kicking it to 2 of the better punt return people in the country right now.
Irving Fryer and Jeff Smith back deep for Nebraska.
Signal for a fair catch. It was wise. The ball hung on.
Huskers have a 14-0 lead. It's a good boot. Drives the man back into the end zone.
Now there he decides on a delayed decision to run it out, and that usually is bad.
Bring it out for the Gophers.
Every opportunity he has. A team can't afford to make a defensive mistake or he'll pick them apart.
Minnesota first and 10 at the 16. Murphy looking to pass. He falls down, tosses it to Reed. Graber tackling him down. He misses him, and it's Gophers. Give them 3 yards on that one. Second down and 7. Murphy looking over the defense and passing on second and long.
Well,
on the right side has a man open. Great catch.
It was a great catch and a great throw. We'll see now if that's given him enough confidence so he'll do a better job throwing.
Murphy with the single setback at the double wing. In motion is Hunter. Murphy loses the ball. Fumble. Who's got it?
I think Minnesota, I believe, recovered there.
Gophers. Murphy again. Draw play. This is Reed. He is dragged down by Graber.
That's real fine coverage there.
Middle guard Ken Graber, the Minnesota native. So far, it'll be third down and 17 for the Gophers. The defense loves a situation like this. They know they're going to pass. Murphy under a lot of pressure. He's nailed at the 31. Number 96 in on the defense for Nebraska. Let's check. That is Jim Scow out of Omaha, Roncalli, and linebacker number 51, Mark Dahm. Nailed Murphy way back. Here is Mark Dahm. Watch him blow right through the line.
In 3 plays, Minnesota lost a total of 18 yards there. And now they're forced to punt from back in their own territory about the 32-yard line.
Dahm hit him low and Scow hit him high. And the Gophers will have to punt. Fourth down and 27. Blanchard in for the kick. Gets a good snap, gets the ball away, receiving for Nebraska.
A little lower kick this time.
Irving Fryer takes it at the 32. Gets up to the 40, and he's driven back to the 38-yard line.
Minnesota punt or kickoff return man has got him in trouble before. Now he gets the ball right on the goal line.
Donovan Small across the 20.
This is the best return. He breaks out to about the 28-yard line.
28. And Murphy brings them out first and 10 at their own 28.
They're in a passing formation again. They can't generate a whole lot of running from this formation.
Murphy back to pass. Looking on the left side. Has a man complete at the 48-yard line and dragged out of bounds. That is number 1. Dwayne McMullen. In motion is Hunter. The give to Puck. He goes nowhere. Everybody out on the tackle that time. Number 75, Rob Stuckey, and there 51, Mark Dahm, and 61, Mike Keeler. You know Murphy's going to throw here. He fakes the pitch, Goes back. He's under pressure. He's got a lot of heat. Gets the ball away, and it's complete to McMullen.
Complete for a first down. Murphy kept his poise there. He was rushed badly, and McMullen just kept coming across the field, and Murphy watched him and hit him with the football. It was a pretty well-coordinated play.
This McMullen's a good athlete.
Right, and a certain amount of this was improvised, I believe.
Yeah, he saw Murphy scrambling, came back and adjusted to the ball, and adjusted very well.
Right. Well, this will give Bob Thornton's defensive backs a pretty good workout.
Yeah, first down and 10 now for the Gophers at the Nebraska 33. Minnesota putting on their best drive of the game so far late in the first period. The give to Puck on the right side, and again, he gets nowhere on the run.
He did intercept one pass for a touchdown.
Second down and 11. Murphy passing. Has a man complete to Lungin Howard at the 22. Hunter in motion. Murphy gives to Puck, goes through the line, inside the 15 and down to Minnesota. Minnesota with a second down and 1. Murphy rolls out looking for the first down. He has it inside the 5. He's near the goal line. The ball pops loose, and wait a minute. They call Murphy down at the 1-yard line on a second and short call. He keeps the ball down and goal. Carroll in motion. Murphy to Puck on the left side.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Trying to throw the ball, but mix in a running play.
Carroll in motion. Puck is the single setback. Murphy looking to pass.
That's a dangerous one.
Murphy passing on second down. A lot of heat by Keeler, but he gets the ball off. And let's see, is it intercepted? No, it's incomplete.
Passer here.
Murphy rolls out. A lot of heat on him. Framber almost gets him. He gets the ball away, and it's incomplete. It'll bring up on 6.
Blackshirts had quite a workout today. That's not one of his best kicks. That's kind of a bad kick. It's a low kick.
Jeff Smith now cuts up to the 45.
He'll probably hang this one up here, hoping to get the ball to drop inside the 10 someplace.
It drops inside the 10, and will they get it?
No, they won't.
No, on that play, yes, number 12. Andy Hare now in a quarterback for the Gophers. Hare is 6'2", 190-pound junior out of Appleton, Wisconsin. Apparently, Greg Murphy shaken up and unable to play. This changes the Minnesota offense.
Well, Hare has still got him in a semi-type of a spread formation, using motion to his left. And they roll out to the right, and he's going to try to run the ball, and he throws it. He throws to a man that's pretty well covered, and I think he intentionally threw it into the ground because the receiver was very well
likely throw now on second down and 10. Hare rolling out again.
He's being chased.
Scow, a lot of pressure. He gets him.
He's in a lot of trouble.
Number 96, Jim Scow, defensive tackle of Omaha Roncalli High. He's only a sophomore, and he runs Hare down. 3rd and 23 for the Gophers. And they're going to keep it on the ground. Tony Hunter up the middle across the 10 and no more. Tony Hunter, kind of an interesting story, Coach. He quit football this spring. Told Coach Joe Salem he didn't want anything to do with the Gophers. He went back home. Mom and Dad said, you get back and finish what you started. And they took him back. He's been pretty ineffectual tonight. 4th down and 19, and Blanchard will kick it away from his own end zone. Deep back for the Huskers.
That's a good kick. Gets off a good kick, but he could get a run back here.
This is Jeff Smith.
There it is.
Jeff Smith at the 30, the 20, and down to the 13.
With Smith and Pryor back there, you've got a chance for a touchdown anytime anybody punts to them. They're a couple of the finest kick return men in the country, and both of them can go all the way. They both have great speed.
Watch, Shane Swanson gets a good block. Neil Harris drives his man to the outside.
Some very good blocking in that play to get Smith to the outside here.
The fullback, David Puck, number 44, eventually gets credit. 1st and 10 now at their own 20-yard line. Andy Hare, still the quarterback in place of the injured Greg Murphy. Hare, the give to Puck on the left side, and he is drilled. Graber in on the tackle that time.
Very difficult for Minnesota to generate a running attack with just that one back there. There's not much deception.
Yeah, Coach, you'd mentioned Mike Knox, the linebacker, used to be a running back in high school. I saw him when he played at Douglas County High School. Watch Knox, number 44 here. Imagine a kid of his size playing high school football. He so dominated the game. His team was successful only because of him.
Mike is a great athlete. He's a great kid. He also helped our wrestling team. We were without a heavyweight for a while this winter, and he wrestled heavyweight for us. A but he had been away from wrestling for a while, and he won some and lost a few.
There's a whistle on the play. Looks like Ken Graber
Back there.
They've got a 2nd and 4 after the penalty. The pitch back to Hunter.
It's a real good job by the cornerback. Nebraska cornerback, number 2.
That's Mike McCashlin.
Mike McCashlin did a very fine job of coming up meeting that play. Formation where they got 2 backs back there.
3rd down and short for the Gophers.
Whoop,
This
there's
is
a fumble.
Who's got it?
They rule that, I believe that Minnesota has the ball here.
Yeah, David workout, and he's doing a pretty good job tonight. Gets away a good kick.
He's getting a good workout. There's a fair catch.
Irving Fryer calls for the
Murphy must be injured. We'll find out to start the second half. I think if he's back in the game, but if he isn't, I think he is hurt.
Hare rolls out. He's going to keep it across the 35 and near the 40.
They can get a first down and hopefully a score before the half is over.
Give him 9 yards, 2nd down and 1. Gives inside to Puck. He has the first down and more. Puck down at the 50. Good gainer by Puck. It's first down for Minnesota at the Nebraska 49. Hunter in motion. Hare rolls out, looks to pass, looking long, and it's intercepted. Number 33, Dave Burke, but there's a flag on the play.
I think well, it shouldn't be called in. It shouldn't be an interference call, I don't believe.
Lungin Howard protesting. Let's see what the referee calls. It looks like it's going in Minnesota's favor.
Well, they call pass interference. I'd like to see that again. Be interesting one to see.
Pass interference against the Huskers. You saw Vance Carlson make the call, and Minnesota will have the ball at the Nebraska 16.
Here we're going to see the play again here. We'll see. The back judge must have made the call. First down.
Now, I think Billy Weber pushed off right there. That was it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. The defensive back knocked the man that intercepted the ball, but the defensive back did interfere with the receiver's efforts to come back after the ball.
Number 87, Bill Weber, pushed Lungin Howard, and the Gophers have a first down and 10 at the Nebraska 15. Hunter, the lone setback. Hare, the quarterback. Hunter up the middle, gets maybe a yard. Huskers penalized 5 times now for 54 yards. Minnesota once for 15 yards.
That one penalty was a big one, though.
Hare passing into the end zone, has a man open, and it's out of bounds.
He's out of the end zone.
Intended for Dwayne McMullen, made the catch, but it was out of bounds. Mike Hare behind Rasmussen, 3rd and 9. Looking to pass, rolling out.
He's going the wrong direction again.
Mark Dahm chasing him down. Hare is in trouble. Gets the ball away. And Brett Clark tips it away in the end zone.
Brett Clark had it in his hands and dropped it there.
Yeah. The ball intended for 83, the tight end, Jay Carroll. Brett says they'll snap the ball and set it down at the 21. It'll be a 31-yard field goal. Kick is up, and it is good.
They trap up the middle, and they just seem to be able to strike so many ways. They're certainly, I think, the greatest offensive team in the country, and probably will be leading the nation in all phases of offensive football after this game.
Danny Wingard kicks it off to Donovan Small. He gets a good run to quarterback for the Golden Gophers. I believe Hare is still in there replacing Murphy.
They've got number 9.
Murphy is back in now.
Murphy's back in the game. Did nothing one time, but we weren't quite this bad at half.
The give off to Hunter again. He's near a first down, out to about wind up this first half, and I'm wondering what Joe Salem will say to us.
He's going to have a difficult time saying anything that is going to be too enthusiastic. Now they're right there in the formation where it looks like they're just going to let the clock run out.
I think they took too much time on that one, Coach. Whistles on the field.
Yeah, they could have dropped on the ball and let it run out that way.
26 yards for the Golden Gophers. And a bit of a clarification out of the first half. Murphy was taken out of quarterback, and Hare replaced him in the starting position there. Apparently, Coach Joe Salem having a lot of confidence in Hare. Murphy was not injured in the first half, and Hare they consider to be the better runner, so they put him in to try to challenge the Nebraska attack. But the Huskers have a 42-10 lead as we start the second half.
Now, here's a driving kickoff that goes right to the back of the end zone and will not be run out. So Minnesota put the ball in play on their 20-yard line. You know, something that we haven't mentioned and might mention, there's a fine bunch of football players out there playing for the University of Nebraska. But, you know, there are also a lot of very fine students on this squad. This squad has a very fine academic record, and I think we can be proud of that along with their prowess as a football team.
Coach, I got a surprising score to pass along. UCLA and Arizona, a final score, 26-26, a tie.
Well, there's been quite a few ties today, and it didn't surprise me too much.
On first down, Minnesota runs the ball. That's Hunter. He runs right out of his shoe and gains 8 yards on first down out to the 28.
He's got just a short distance to go for a first down. I mean, it's 2nd and 1.
They'll call it officially 2nd down and 2. Murphy gives inside to Puck, and he has the first down. Minnesota now in the eye. They didn't show much eye in the first half. Murphy maybe audibling, takes a lot of time, gives to Hunter on the left side, gets a yard.
Formation, and this is the one they throw the ball out of an awful lot.
Carroll in the slot to the near side, Hunter to the far side, Puck the lone running back. Murphy airs it out and is just tipped away from number 1 to Wayne McMullen.
There's a flag on the play. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Brett Clark with the defensive move on that one. We'll see what the flag is. Here's the isolation on McMullen.
Yeah, the coverage on McMullen was very good. There's one man in front of him. There's another man coming up from behind who takes the ball and actually, I believe, intercepts it, but I think they really went out of bounds.
That looked like a clean play to me. I didn't see any contact. We'll wait and check and see what the flag is. On the far side, Murphy, the quarterback. Long count. Gives it to Puck, 28. The only place Nebraska losing in penalties. 4 penalties for 59 yards. Minnesota 2 for 20 yards.
The fumble situation, Minnesota fumbled twice, but they did not lose the ball, and Nebraska had 1 interception.
Blanchard will kick it away to Nebraska. Deep back for the Huskers. Smith and Fryer. This tackle, Wingard and Brett Clark. Good effort by the kicker. Murphy gives off to Hunter. To give the Puck up the middle. He spins away from a tackle. And Don Murphy rolls out to the right, looking to pass over the middle behind Murphy. Murphy wants to pass. Goes 3rd down and 10. Gophers 0 for 10 on 3rd down conversions. The draw play to Puck. Make sure he's getting a workout. Gets this one off in time. A good kind of a short kick, but it hangs up there. Jeff Smith at the 30.
It's in the wall.
To the 40.
Might go.
Jeff Smith to the 50. Puck is the one man he's got to beat. He gets away and trips up.
Sideline he was.
At this point, it's academic. Turner Gill ran in for the touchdown himself, and Huskers are up 56-10. Wingard will kick it off again, and Small will take it at the 2.
He's got to run this one.
Small to the 10, to the 15, and down to the 19. 1st and 10 to the 20. The give to Baylor. 2nd down and 8 for the Gophers, their own 22-yard line. They're down 56-10. The pitch to Baylor along the right side. Finds a hole, has an opening. He's tripped up at the 37-yard line. On the tackle for Nebraska is number 3. Let's check, see who that is. We're seeing a lot of different players here in the second half. That time it was Gary Schneider, a 5'11", 185-pound sophomore. The safety out of O'Neill. Schneider, a good breaker saver right here.
Right. Schneider is actually a 185-pounder, all right, and he has not played a whole lot, but I think they think quite a bit of him. They think he's a pretty good prospect. It's a good thing that some of these younger fellows get a chance to play. It really helps them as the season goes along. Because
excuse me, Coach.
One of the first-team players get hurt. You put a fella in there that hasn't had much opportunity to play, and he's under a lot of pressure to make some mistakes.
Tell you, even the sisters are on our side tonight.
Yeah, everybody's happy from Nebraska. The Minnesota people are sitting there wondering and might be thinking some bad thoughts.
Murphy's pass incomplete on first down. Ricky Green broke it up. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Gophers at their own 38. Split backs. Baylor and Puck behind Murphy. Murphy, the draw play to Puck, and he gets nowhere.
Second-team defensive unit in there, sprinkled with a few third papers.
They show blitz, but don't come. Murphy gets the ball off, a good completion. He's brought down by number 3. That's Schneider again. The completion to number 4, Clark Johnson, the flanker. Freshman on the catch that time. Gophers 1st and 10 at the 43. Murphy barks him out. Baylor in motion behind Puck. The give is to Baylor on the left side. He gets through to 35, to the 30. Baylor down to the 21. Down to the 21, 1st and 10. Murphy rolls out, a lot of pressure, puts it into the end zone, throws it away. Ball intended that time for 89 again, Melvin Anderson. But I think Murphy wisely threw that one past him.
Minnesota should score on this team.
Murphy passing, looking into
They look at it that this team should stop Minnesota also.
Gophers now 3rd down and 10. They are 1 of 12 in 3rd down conversions. Murphy passing. Across the middle, incomplete. Threw it away.
That was sort of a bad pass. I think he had one back coming across there pretty open, number 37 coming in.
5 total yards. Minnesota 224. Wingard will kick it off. Donovan Small at the 1, to the 10, to the 15, and no more. And Baylor the eye back. This is Baylor. He gets to the 15, to the 20, and to the 21.
At this stage.
Nebraska with a lot of second and third teamers now. Woody Page on the tackle. Casterline also in there. The give is to Baylor, and he is hog-tied. Number 46, Chad Dapper, the backup linebacker.
I wonder how long he should keep his first-string people in there, because there's really, that's a fine, he dropped it. But there's really no point in getting these players hurt at this stage of the game, because he ought to try to probably save them for a time when he's got a little better chance to win, because right now they're tired and they run more of a chance of getting hurt. And I know he wants to try to keep this as respectable as possible, but I think at this stage...
It'll bring up now a 2nd down and 10 for the Gophers. Murphy, their first teamer, still in the quarterback. Murphy, the draw play to Puck, and boom! Herman there.
We got a minute and 5 seconds in this one.
3rd and 8, a mishandled snap. The ball goes off to Puck, and he gets nowhere today. This might be his, I think, 11th punt of the night.
Gets another pretty good punt off. Whoop, there's a mishandle there. There's both of the people wanted to return the punt that time. He can't tell the players not to run hard. He can't take a quarterback that he's trying to take a look at and tell him not to throw the ball at all. It's very difficult.
Andy Hare now back into quarterback for the Gophers. We may have seen the last of Murphy. Hare, the better runner of the two, rolls out and gets a couple of yards across the 20 to the 21. Number 43, a good play that time by linebacker Tony Holloway. He drove him out. Even the cheerleader's taking a timeout, Coach.
Right.
My producer tells me she is wounded.
Cheerleaders are resting.
Boy, I tell you, it's a dirty, thankless job, Coach, but somebody has to do it out there.
Well, I tell you that that Minnesota team keeps coming out of the huddle every time, and they give a pretty good effort, but they've got to be tired and they've got to be awfully discouraged.
2nd down and 7 for the Gophers at their own 21. Small in motion. He's been busy tonight returning kicks. Hare rolls out, pressured. He's nailed. He throws the ball away. It's intentional grounding.
That was a attempted bootleg pass, I guess, but the blocking broke down.
Hare, drop play, no. 85, Wade Preiner stops Donovan Small on a 3rd down and 18. Great play by Preiner.
Well, I think the Nebraska reserves are playing a lot better now, too. They're making it very difficult for Minnesota to generate any offense. They're going to punt again. Nebraska will have good field position, and I don't know what will slow them down.
Some of the other fans watching the game waving high. 4th down, 21 to go for the Gophers. Blanchard will kick it again from his own end zone. Gets off a wobbly kick.
That's Jeff Smith again.
Smith to the left side, cuts back up the middle. Dome. Huskers kick off to Minnesota with the 77-13 lead. This is Donovan Small returning a kick again and again. Getting to 13.
Well, I think the worst part about it is, as far as Minnesota's concerned, Nebraska has just good football players here. They don't have any.
Minnesota is number 12, Hare.
77 against Army.
Huskers on a 2nd down and 10. Excuse me, the Gophers on 2nd and 10. To give to the fullback. That, I think, is number 25. Look at Ken Graber. He's the only Minnesota player on the Nebraska team. He was not recruited by Minnesota at all. He walked on in Lincoln, and I think he's got to think he made the right decision.
I'm sure he does.
3rd down and 12. Hare rolling out, in trouble in his own end zone, gets it away. Almost intercepted by Ricky Green.
If he gets the football players, and I know they'll be glad when it's over. That's a good punt. Another good punt. Real good punt.
Gets the kick away to the 50-yard line for Nebraska. Number 6 on the return. Let's check, see who that is.
It's good Minnesota coverage that time.
For the Huskers on the return was Todd New Mexico State last year. We're not close to that yet, but we may with 8 minutes left.
How about total yardage?
Let me check on that. It'll be a 2nd down and 10 for the Gophers here. The draw play. And they get nowhere. 3rd down and long for the Gophers. 3rd down and 11. Here, the pitch back to Small. Has a lead block, but they nail him.
They're either going to call Nebraska for encroachment going across the line. Cheer for Minnesota here.
Yeah, the ones that are here all wearing red. Blanchard gets off maybe his best kick of the night. Woo, this one takes him way back inside the 10. That is Shane Swanson up to the 15, and he's down 10 for Minnesota. They try the draw play and get maybe a yard, an incomplete pass on 1st down. And the Gophers now keeping the ball on the ground. 3 minutes, 57 seconds left.
Better for them in the future.
They got 4 on that play. 3rd down and 6 at the 38. Hare looking to pass. To the right side, it's picked off by number 34, Tony Holloway. Holloway could go, has one man to beat. Holloway is tripped up. Linebacker Tony Holloway.
Holloway stepped right in front of that receiver. It's an out pattern here. He shouldn't have thrown the football.
Coach, let me check the player. That is not Holloway. That is 34, Todd Profit. Holloway is 43. This is 34, Profit. And a good interception. Profit, a sophomore from Hartford, Connecticut, and the Huskers have the ball again.
They'll kick it up in the stands.
Yeah, I think Schneider will put everything he's got into this one.
But this is a great spot for an onside kick if you need it.
You saw that briefly. This is the most points ever scored in the modern history against the Minnesota Gophers. Small will take it at the 1 to the 10 and maybe the 12.
Since that time, it's just been getting continually a little more futile.
1st and 10 at their own 12. They keep the ball.
I hope the officials now don't be throwing flags around the ground too often here, unless it's something serious, because there's no sense of that at this stage.
2nd and 3 for Minnesota. This is Small trying the outside. He's going to get the 1st down. Let's hope he stays in bounds. He goes to the 44.
And that's the best offensive play that Minnesota has ran this quarter, I believe.
You know, one thing about this, Coach, Nebraska has played a lot of 3rd and 4th teamers. But you go this deep, you're always putting fresh people in.
Right.
They may not have the skill level of the first teamers, but they haven't been worn down as much, and so they're ready to go.
Right, that's true. You know, when you're playing at home, you can go down and you can put 85, 90 players in a ball game.
Yeah.
But when you're in the traveling, you've got 60 players, and some of those are specialists.
Yep. Give Ricky Green the tackle on that one. Gophers now 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll keep it on the ground. Small on the pitch play around the left side to the 50, the 45, and the 43. Number 22, that is Woody Page on the tackle. This is Hare on the keeper. Ritter chasing him down, and Guy Rozier makes the tackle.
That was a naked bootleg
play at the Metrodome. 2nd down and 4 for the Gophers. They'll most likely keep it on the ground. They do. It's a draw play up the middle.
And they think they
Minnesota has a 1st and 10. Hare will pass.
That's a bad choice.
Boy, that's picked off by number 5, Ricky Green. Ricky Green with a good run back.